is Danish. I'm back with our free community webinar sessions where we invite immigration tax and company formation experts from around the world for you. So today we have a very special guest from Costa Rica, Nicole. I will be giving her a detailed introduction in a second. I'm quickly going to share my screen to give a shout out to our community sponsors who make these incredible events possible. So first, visadb, I am the founder. So if you go to visadb, you can hire tax and immigration experts around the world, including Nicole. You can see that our services are here. So if you want to hire Nicole, let's say, you would simply click on the service she has, and you will click chat with Nicole, and you will instantly connect it with Nicole. You can also check out the pricing here, what's included in her service, and everything. The second shout out I want to give out is the Safety Wing, which is the insurance company. So if you're applying for the visa and you need insurance, or you generally need insurance for your travel, they are the most affordable, I would say, and quite famous as well. So check out their products. Very cool company. These were the shout outs. I am back. Nicole, I really want to show my gratitude on the behalf of 153,000 digital nomads from around the world. Thank you very much for joining. How is your day so far?
My day is going amazing, and I'm so excited to be here with all of you guys and, go through this amazing visa that we have now in Costa Rica.
Yay! So I will straight away dive in. We love Costa Rica. We don't need to talk about it. It's well-established fact that Costa Rica is one of the beautiful countries. It's very spiritual, amazing countries. But if I ask you, what are the top 3 reasons digital nomads or foreigners pick to move to Costa Rica?
Well, I think people fall in love when they come here, but mostly I would say you have quality of life. There's sustainable well-being. You have waves 365 days a year, beautiful beaches, sunsets all year round, high life expectancy, and basically you live where you vacation. So, I think who doesn't want that?
I think you summed up quite well. Yes, as you said, if you're living on a holiday destination, that means you're always on holidays, right? So you just need to shut your laptop, walk outside. Woo! Okay, this is incredible. So if, let's say, before Digital Nomad Visa just launched recently, which is a massive news, I would ask you, what were the visa options before this visa? What people were doing if they wanted to stay longer?
So basically, they would enter under the normal tourist visa, which you are granted 90 days, but not always. You can be granted less depending on the immigration person that is on the airport or the border on that moment. But 90 days was the maximum you would get. So people were doing visa runs. And this is such a hurdle and a hassle because you have to go through either the border on in Panama or the border on in Nicaragua, cross, set up your shuttle, your transportation, and basically waste all of a day, doing a process nobody wants to do, a border run. And then when you come back, you would have to show a return ticket. So this is where it got tricky for persons. They could get a refundable ticket and then, get the money back, or buy a bus ticket showing that you're exiting back to Panama or Nicaragua. But then if you keep doing this for so long, the immigration person there can be like, what's going on here? You're becoming a perpetual tourist. You have to regulate your status. So basically now the government has made this wonderful visa to make these persons feel like, hey, you're welcome. You are able to stay here, and we're going to make your situation a legal situation here.
Wow, I'm glad that they figured it out. I'm so glad. And countries around the world, they're coming up with Digital Nomads Visa. We are the most happiest group of people now. So I would ask you, when this Digital Nomad Visa came into being, let's start with that. And let's start with that.
So basically, the law was approved on June of last year, but it did not start to become effective yet because there was a ruling that was missing. Why? Because the law was very general, so people did not know how to navigate through it. So basically, the ruling was pending, and we were in the transition of changing presidents, so it kind of got delayed. And then this year, Mr. Chavez approved it on past July, the ruling. So now we're set, we're ready to go.
Yay, let's go. So if I ask you, let's say, what are the requirements for this visa? What are the top requirements if I want to get this visa?
Yeah, so basically the first thing you have to question is, for the requirements, is are you a digital nomad or not? For this law, are you a digital nomad? So basically a digital nomad is a foreigner person who provides remunerated services abroad. It can be through a person or through a legal company, using computer, telecommunication, or any other means. But the most important thing is that you work remotely and you receive an income from abroad. This is considered a digital nomad. Something that has come up is, can I work for myself? Is it valid that I work for myself? Am I a digital nomad, or do I have to have an employer abroad? So basically, the law says specifically that the person works remotely in a subordinated manner or not. So this implies that you can work for yourself. The most important thing is the income. So here we go with the second requirement. Basically, if you're applying solo, you have to prove that you have a solid, permanent, stable income for the past year of 3,000 American US dollars. And if you are applying with the family group, you need to show that you have an income of $4,000 per month for the past year.
Okay. So to sum up, two requirements. One requirement is you have to be a digital nomad, and we will explore further of the definition of the digital nomad. And second, that you are making money outside Costa Rica. There has to be 3,000 if you're single. If you have a spouse or a partner, then it has to be 4,000. And my next question, follow-up question would be, what evidence do I have to show to prove that income?
Exactly. So basically, the law indicates that you have to provide three things. So you have to provide bank statements for the last year that prove that income. You have to do a sworn statement indicating that, under oath, you swear that you did receive this income for the past year. And then it's very convenient to add a certification issued by a public accountant or a public notary that did got access to your bank statements and that give faith that you've had that income and that you can continue to have that income for the next year. If this document is granted abroad, the certification, then it has to be duly authenticated with an apostille. Okay.
Sure.
Depending on the country, authenticated in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Costa Rican consulate for the countries that do not have the apostille authentication. And then if you are applying for the family group, if you have dependents, then you would need to add a marriage certificate for your spouse. Or if you only have a legal union, then prove that you have a legal union with your partner. For sons or daughters, birth certificate.
Okay. Wow. I'm glad. So guys who are watching it on YouTube, Nicole is an immigration lawyer. We skipped that part in the introduction, but she's a veteran immigration lawyer from Costa Rica. So what advice you're getting, this is actually coming from a immigration lawyer. This is not a consultant. This is not someone who read online. This is coming a very qualified advice. So if you have questions, I noticed Brian and Sherry already asked questions. So please feel free to ask questions and we will be getting to them very soon. As you already see, Nicole is amazing. She's attention to detail. She, give the detailed answer. And after that, you don't have any follow-up questions. But I have other questions, Nicole. So now we established that these are the requirements and evidence. You also said we will show this evidence. If we take a use case of, let's say, a family with 2 kids wanting to apply for Digital Nomad Visa. And so first I will start, they are making money, approved. And what is the duration of this visa you get? That would be my first question. And second, is it extendable?
Okay, so the duration of the visa is for 1 year, and then it is extendable for another year.
Okay, that's pretty good. 2 years time. And I'm from Canada. In Canada, there is no apostle, surprisingly, and you already mentioned briefly. But to get more clearance or clarity on that, so if I get this accountant sort of sworn public accountant certification, and so I get it approved from foreign ministry first, and then I take this to Costa Rican embassy in Canada and get a stamp. That's correct?
Correct.
Okay. And all the documents which I'm producing, bank statement, birth certificate in terms of kids, if I have kids, marriage certificate, or a common law partner certificate, any documents I'm producing, all the documents have to be this legally verified.
So no, actually, this is something very interesting from the law, because what it wants is to make the process less complicated. So only the certification from the public accountant, if made abroad, needs to be legalized. However, the birth certificate do not need to be legalized. It only needs to be issued in a recent date, because it's only valid for 6 months. The same for the marriage certificate, does not need to be legalized. Only issued in a time frame that does not exceed 6 months from being issued.
This is wow. This is a tiny detail, and this is why the experts like you have a massive value. Because otherwise people would go crazy and they start doing things which are not even required. So we really appreciate it. So we established the eligibility, and if I explore furthermore, because most of the digital nomads are freelancers for themselves, they are 50-50. They're remote workers and then freelancers, or people who have startups like me, entrepreneurs. So people who have income, it's very easy to show the salary amounts. And if I am in business, so there's no fixed income, let's say. There's no 3,000 every month coming in. Maybe 1 month 6,000 and the other month is 3,000. Does it have to be 3,000 fixed coming into my bank account, or is that a total lump sum of money coming in?
That's a very good question, because the law did not specify exactly if it has to be, let's say, a total for the year, or if you have to show that every month you had the $3,000. So this is not a question that I can exactly reply to you. Why? Because as I said, the visa is very recent. The ruling just got applied in July. So we're only submitting the first applications. You know what I mean? So if you were my client, I would say, let's try it, because at the end of the day, you had the income during the whole year, the same total, the 3,000 times 12 months. So sure. I'd say it's debatable. I say sure. We could fight it. The resolution approving or denying the visa has an appeal. So this is why we're here for you. Sure. We could appeal it.
Yeah, makes sense, because I asked this technical question because this is the same case in many other countries. There's new visas, they don't know, and this is the thing, exactly. Digital nomads, we know because we have this kind of need. So we will find it out. Now, if I move to the next question, what is the process if somebody hire you and they want to apply this visa? Can you walk us through the process, and how long does it take to get the actual visa?
Of course. So basically, the procedure is done through the digital platform of immigration. It's called Trámite Ya. And basically, the law has given this procedure a preferential treatment. So listen to this. You submit the process, and immigration has 5 days, 5 natural days to say there is something missing in the application or not. If there is something missing in the application, they're going to give you 8 working days to satisfy with that document or thing missing. And after that, in total, immigration has 15 natural days to resolve the application. However, it's immigration. They can take longer. And I'm sure they're going to be, overwhelmed with the quantity of digital nomad visas that they are already receiving. But the purpose of the law is to make this an expedite process. So basically, with us, what we would do is like you would sign a power of attorney that we can represent you in the process. We will need a photocopy of the first page of the passport. And if the applicant is in Costa Rica, the visa stamp, the last entry to Costa Rica. And of course, the person has to be under a legal tourist visa. If not, the application would be denied. The person has to pay $100 payment in filing fee. And then, of course, I will guide you through the process. Before we submit, I will say, get me these bank statements. I will check it all. Let's do the certification. I will write up the certification so that, we have the solid certification that we need for immigration issued by the CPA. I will, if it's a family group, okay, we need the marriage certificate, or let's get this legal union verification. Let's get the birth certificates. I will check issue dates. We make sure that the requirements are being met exactly as we need, because if not, you risk of being denied. Sure. And then you have to start all over, So basically, that's the process. Mm-hmm. And of course, we're there to receive notifications in case immigration tell us there is something missing. We will right away take care of that. And if for some reason immigration denies, we will appeal. But I think immigration will deny in cases where, they doubt the income, or they made an internal search in national or international databases that the person has a criminal background check.
Sure.
It's very interesting. They're not asking for a criminal background check, but they will check internally.
Sure. Oh, wow. So I'm so glad. This is actually huge. I'm going to give a shout out to Costa Rica, because most of the digital nomad visa require police certificate, and it's really a pain for most of us digital nomads. And we prefer to just not apply at the end and just do the visa runs, because how to collect these documents, the point of getting this visa should be easier. So I'm glad to hear that. This is the first advice. So Nicole, we have so many questions already. So Rachel, Albie, Brian, okay. I will be answering the questions. Don't worry, Nicolene, Osvaldo, I will be getting back to your question as well. I got some private messages as well. But before we move on to that, there are a few more details, specific details with digital nomads looking for. So let's say I'm eligible, 3,000, making money around outside Costa Rica. I hire you to get me this visa, and now I got this visa, and I am in Costa Rica living my happy life, enjoying the beach. What happens after 183 days? Because everywhere in the world, if you live more than 183 days, you're considered a tax resident and you are owing taxes to the government. What happens on this visa? Do I owe taxes to the Costa Rican government?
So this is something so amazing about Costa Rica, that this visa gives you many benefits. And the first one is you don't have to pay taxes. You are not considered a person that makes an income here. So no taxes. Okay, so that's the first thing.
Let's celebrate this. Woohoo!
Woohoo! And then you don't, listen to this, you don't have to pay import taxes for the equipment that you need to be able to do your remote work. Wow. What is the equipment? This means computer, camera devices, sound devices, tablet, mobile phones, record devices. None of these will pay import tax, which they usually do when they come from abroad.
Wow. This is actually huge, because it will become like I can order anything from Amazon and receive any tax-free, right? Whatever the price I see on Amazon.com or any online shop, I can just get it. If it's related to work, that includes cell phone, laptops, cameras, and maybe one or two more
accessories that are in the same line. Yeah.
Sure. That's incredible. So now we will jump to the questions, and there's so many questions already, and I will start at the bottoms. Brian is asking, does the digital nomad visa create Costa Rican tax implications for digital nomads? that is different from the 90-day tourist visa. I think we already answered that, but you can repeat to Brian
Exactly.
again.
So there are no tax implications for digital nomad visas. And the difference with the tourist visa is that a tourist visa, you're supposed to be here on vacation, not supposed to be working. So now the government will ask you, if you are working remotely and are staying for more than 90 days, please apply through the corresponding visa.
Yeah. There's a path, there's a visa we created for you. Please go for it. And it makes sense. There's no taxes.
Exactly.
So why wouldn't I? I would love to apply, right? Albie is asking, why not Rentista visa? Why Digital Nomad visa? He's comparing the both, Rentista visa versus Digital Nomad.
Okay. So that's a very interesting question. So basically, the Rentista is a residency category, and the visa is not. The visa is just a visa. So the difference is that when you are applying for residency under the Rentista category, you will be granted residency, a temporary residency for 2 years. After the third year of having this temporary residency, you can change for permanent residency. And depending on the nationality, after 5 or 7 years of being a legal resident in Costa Rica, you can apply for the citizenship. So basically, the residency categories are for persons that are planning to reside in a long term in Costa Rica. They're ready to say, I'm moving to Costa Rica, and this is the place where I want to be. So the digital nomad visa is for persons that, want to come try it out. They're nomads. The name says it. So it's for nomads, basically.
Yeah, that's cool. I think this is a very clear difference. I wouldn't want to live anywhere permanently for life. So, and also I think Rentista visa makes you tax liability. There's a tax liability, I assume, on Rentista visa.
So basically, under the Rentista category, you have to show that you have an income of $2,500, regardless if you have a family group or not. So it's a little bit less money because it's $2,500 per month. But you have to show that you have that income during the following 2 years, not in the past. Okay, so that's the first difference. Yeah, during the following 2 years, you will have that income. And basically, if that income is made abroad, it does not have tax implications either. So you don't have to pay taxes as Rentista. But there is a main difference is that when you're approved a residency category, you have to pay what is called caja in our country, which is our healthcare insurance, our national healthcare insurance. So for rentistas, caja is very high nowadays. It's approximately $300 per month. So it's very different. Digital nomads just have to get a policy risk insurance that has a coverage for $50,000, and that's it. But when you become a resident, you have to comply with the same duties that we Costa Ricans have, and is enrolled in our caja system.
Sure. Wow. I'm so glad. Thank you, Nicole. Wow. You are such a great teacher. So now, actually, Rentista visa sounds very interesting as well. Albie, thank you very much, because that sounds quite interesting. So guys, just to let you know, so Nicole is an immigration lawyer. So she's not a digital nomad visa expert. She is an immigration lawyer. So even if Rentista visa, citizenship, digital nomad visa, anything you need, Nicole is there to help you. So Rentista visa sound interesting. 2,500, little less, but you have to pay monthly contribution to the system for medical healthcare, $300 a month. Safety Wing offers $42. So if you want to pay $250 more, and if you're planning to get a citizenship or permanent residency, or you have a Costa Rican wife, so then maybe make more sense. But if you're a digital nomad out there for 2 years, then digital nomad visa. So we'll move forward. So many questions. We are already very less time left, so I will move fast. Rachel, what if I'm traveling with my partner, but we are not married? We don't have such a thing as common law marriage certificates where I come from. Would we just need to swear on affidavit to prove that our relationship?
So Rachel, that's a very, very good question, because our law and our ruling does not indicate the means of evidence of this legal union. So under my criteria, I would say let's do a sworn statement where you an affidavit sounds good, we can make it here in Costa Rica so that it does not have to come authenticated. We will help you with that because we're also public notaries, so we can make the affidavit for you. And I think honestly the affidavit would pass because not many countries have such a thing as common law marriage certificates.
Yes.
Typically, you would have to go through a procedure to court to legalize the union, and
Yes.
that makes it so much more complicated,
Yeah. Wow. So Rachel, we are with you. We're friends, so we'll make sure that if you have plans, Nicole and I will make sure that we will move you there. And we totally understand the world, the weird rules, but I'm sure we'll find a way through affidavit or through other means. So I'll move to the next questions here. Sherry has asked, I own a CRSA that I assume is a Costa Rican company, maybe?
Thing that we go back to the beginning. Who is a Digital Nomad Visa? It's a person that provides remote service for a person abroad, a legal company abroad or an individual abroad. So basically, you cannot use your Costa Rican corporation to apply for this Digital Nomad Visa.
Okay.
It's very clear in the law. It has to, the income has to come from abroad and from a legal person abroad or a person abroad.
Yeah. Okay. So Sherry, talk to me. I know a workaround. You can register a US LLC. And instead of getting paid in your corporation and in Costa Rican corporation, you can get paid in your UL LLC and then pay you from there. That would qualify, I assume, because US LLC is a different entity and that business will be paying you. So then it could work, I assume, Nicole. Do you agree, right? I guess that could be a workaround.
So basically what I would recommend, Shari, is that if you have a legal entity abroad, you can qualify through this legal entity abroad. I mean, for sure, you can write to us later on specifically like what is that you do or what type of services you do, and we can give you like a more specialized advice. But it's very possible, it's all doable.
Sure. Yeah. So, sorry, again, please contact Nicole. She will find a way. She's incredible.
Absolutely.
So next question, Andrea is asking. So basically, it's $1,000 more if I have a dependent kids or a spouse. Okay.
That is correct. It's $4,000 if you are a family group. And you know what, Danish? I think it's very important to clarify who can qualify as family group, because the law indicates that the family group is considered the spouse or the partner through proving that there is like a legal union there.
Yeah.
The sons or daughters under 25 years old. So this is huge because typically it's under 18. But here they're extending it to the sons or daughters above 18 and until 25.
Wow.
And then also it allows you to bring the elderly adults that you have to take care of that live with you. So you can bring your mom, you can bring your dad, you can bring an uncle through your visa.
Wow. This is brilliant. This is so kind. And this also shows how Costa Rican is a land which kind of supports family sort of lifestyle. If you have families, you can bring them. And it's very nice. It's a good feeling. And also 25 is quite generous because I don't know any country which offers more than 18. So this is the first time I'm hearing this. So this is incredible.
It's the Pura Vida. I don't know if you've heard about it.
For la familia, this is incredible. This is very, very kind from Costa Rican, and I really appreciate it. And it kind of shows the values, right? Family values ingrained in Costa Rican society.
Our culture, family, it's very important, it's huge. And, we're super close to family here.
Sure.
So that shows it for sure.
Yeah, and I love it. So Oswaldo asked that, thank you, Nicole and Danish. We thank you, Oswaldo. Appreciate it. Does this visa also facilitate renting a house or an apartment?
Okay, so I'm gonna be really honest here. Even as a tourist, you can rent a house or an apartment here, so it does not change anything. Like it will change other things, like the benefits that we talked about, like
Yeah.
not having to do border runs,
Mhm.
no tax implication, no tax
Yeah.
in bringing your accessories or equipment, and you can drive legally with your foreigner driver's license.
Yes.
But
Wow.
it does not it does not change the fact of renting a house or apartment because anybody can.
Yes. Wow. This is incredible. So, Osvaldo, feel free when you're throwing a housewarming party, invite us. Uh, Nicole, Nicole is asking, thank you for the advice. Thank you, Nicole. Do you need to do a visa run while your digital nomads visa is being processed or submitted? Are you able to stay in the country while you're waiting for the decision? Good question.
Wow, such a good question, and thank you for bringing that up. So, no, you can stay in the country while the visa run is in process. And as I said, immigration wants this to be an expedite process. So hopefully, it will be approved in a very fast time frame. But if not, you're able to stay while it's being processed.
Uh-huh. Okay, that's incredible. And I will go further. And Nicole, I just want to show my gratitude and say thank you again because we are already over time and you're still with us, smiling and helping us. So I really appreciate
No
it.
worries.
Few more
My
questions.
pleasure.
Yeah. And Brian
Eh,
is asking how to link apply. So Brian, there is a government website, but if you want to contact Nicole, there's at the top, there's a link for Nicole's service. You can click on it and you can click chat with Nicole and she will be charging you. So Nicole is an immigration lawyer, guys, and so she has some legal fees if you are looking for it. She's so kind. She's giving us her time. But if you would like to like your application for any kind of visa process, that would require resources and time and attention from Nicole's team. So there is a fees which we can talk about at the end, but the link is there. And if you want to do it on your own, it could be harder because the system is new and the language we don't know. But you could totally do that if you're fine with that. But of course, if you have a complicated case or if you working busy, you don't have time to manage. It could take 10 to 12 hours, and if your time is valuable, then definitely Nicole. I will go here ask more questions.
yes.
There was a question, so there few more got in, so that question went down. Let me see. Can we move in and out of the country with this visa, or do we have to stay for the whole year?
So basically, you can travel. Once you're granted the visa, you can travel. However, if you are looking to extend for a further year later on, you can extend it if you can prove that you have stayed in the country during the last year that you were granted the first year of visa, 180 days. So
Okay,
it's very important that you are here at least for that
six
period of
months.
time if you're seeking to apply for a second year.
Sure. Okay, 6 months. And I think why would you go to a hassle and pay your legal fees if you're not planning to at least stay 6 months in the country, right?
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah. Wow. So that's not a problem, Rachel. You totally do that. And I have a US LLC and work for a US company. Sherry, if you have that structure, that would qualify because both of the structure you mentioned, they are foreign entities, foreign businesses. So if you're getting money from them, contact Nicole. Albies ask, $3,000 or $4,000. Is that gross income before taxes or expenses? I think taxes. I think it is.
So basically, since if we go back to the means of proof this income, remember that all we ask is for bank statements that show that you have that income per month. Of course, there's going to be an income, but there's going to be expenses, But what the law is asking is that you have that income for the past year, okay? Because, of course, expenses are going to be different in Costa Rica. So the important thing is that you have that income and that you make a sworn statement that you have it, and that we get a certification from a public accountant by looking at your bank statements that you did have that income. So all it's important is the income, not the expenses that you had within a month.
Sure. Sounds good. This is incredible. And guys, I'm sorry I'm moving fast to your question, not exploring further because we're already over time. Martin is asking, is it possible to show a company's bank statement instead of a personal one? That's the first question. I get paid on my company's account, not on personal one. It is one-person company from US. Okay, one-person company doesn't matter, but Nicole, can you answer the first part of the question?
Yes, is it possible to show a company? So basically what immigration wants is to know that you, the provider of remote services, are the one that has the income, okay? If we say, yes, but I receive the income through a company, that I am the only owner of this company, the process can get more complicated. We will need, for example, articles of incorporation of that company, certification of proof of existence of that company abroad. All of these must be, authenticated, duly legalized, translated to a Spanish language later on. I would say, you know what, Martin, I would try it out for you, but the law does not stipulate that it can come from a company's bank. I mean, we would be here for you to fight it for you if you're willing to, but we cannot guarantee that 100%.
Sure. Martin, I think that's where immigration lawyer comes handy, right? These complicated case where you don't want to move this money to personal just to get the visa. Why not just Nicole fees? I think is $1,000 legal fees Nicole charge, and give it a try. It's maybe it works if you are 100% owner and your incorporation documents shows that. So that means, or mostly LLC are pass-through entities. LLCs are not taxed on themselves. They are like a self-employed. So maybe there's a case. No guarantees, but contact Nicole. So one more question I missed from Brian. Does owning a home in Costa Rica create any new opportunity to get approval for other type of visas? Let's say not digital nomad. What he's trying to say, if I own a property in Costa Rica, can I get a visa?
So basically, Brian, if you own a home in Costa Rica, instead of recommending the Digital Nomad Visa for you, I would recommend to apply for the residency as investor. You just need to show that you have an investment of $150,000 in Costa Rica. And basically, this is very interesting because the investment in the property that has to be equal to $150,000, you prove it to the declaration of the value of the property in the municipality. So I've had clients that they purchase, for example, a lot or a home for 100,000, and we just go to the municipality and raise the value of the property, which is very possible in Costa Rica. You just go submit the form, we raise it to the $150,000 that we need, and then you can apply for residency as investor. And residency as investor, I 100% recommend it, because if you have assets in Costa Rica, in order to take care of them, to always feel that you can come back to them, after COVID, it was like super bad for people that were owners of properties here and were not allowed to enter because there were restrictions. So if you have a property in Costa Rica, 100% apply for the residency as investor.
This is incredible, guys. We're gonna organize another session around investor visas property, because there's a lot of people asking questions around that. And but I hope, Brian, you got your answers. The recommendation is made from Nicole's side. So guys, I will stop here. There are a few more questions I'm skipping because we're already about 40 minutes, and I want to just give again shout out. So guys, Nicole charged 1,000 USD legal fees. So you can compare that if you are making a money, and if it takes like 15 hours for you and to apply this visa to figure it out, I would encourage it's better. You will be saving money to hire immigration lawyer like Nicole. She will take care of everything. She will get you visa, and then you will move it. So that's her fees. You can contact her. And if you have a little bit of questions before hiring her, you can also chat with her. You can show your documents wherever you are in the world. You can go to visadb.io. You can search experts, and you can type Costa Rica, or you can see that she is great. She's so awesome that her service are the top right here. So you can see what's included in this service. You can see this is the legal fees and the government fees. So, and then if you're ready, you can click chat, and Nicole will be in touch with you. So that's the best way. Go to visadb.io. She's our partner for the community approved partners. She's a verified, vetted partners. So you can feel confident that seeing her, she's so awesome and so friendly. So she would love to take care of you if you are a family and if you're a single nomad or a couple or any kind of nomad, she would love to help you. Yeah. And guys, I hope we answer all the questions. And the best thing that Nicole is accessible. She just one chat away. So ask her question. Nicole, we want to say a big, massive thank you because you are a busy immigration lawyer, but you showed up in a sense of community, give back to community, help the community.
Of course.
We love that kind of energy. We pura vida, yeah, Jamie. So I also want to say thank you for everybody who asked incredible questions for other people on the YouTube. Again, guys, contact her on the link, or you can search on visadb. Nicole, we will organize another session. But again, thank you very much and have a good day. And we will organize another session for another visa with you.
Exactly. Thank you so much. Appreciation.
Yay. So take care. We'll talk to you. I'll talk to you.